to come down from the high of hanging out in person and maybe get into a few bad things, off microphone. We discuss DreamWorks' The Bad Guys. I'm Chad.
And I'm Matt.
This is the 64th episode of We Used to Talk About This at Work. All right, so top of the show, I want to say welcome back, Jamie. It's been a minute since you've been on, late January, if I recall.
Yeah, I believe it was January.
So I appreciate you, coming out and, doing this with us. But also, I want to say welcome back to Japan to Matt.
It feels good to be back.
Why is that?
Off the top of my head, I miss my bidet. I didn't feel clean in the States. All right. So I've been accustomed for these last 2.5 years for my bidet. My booty area been extra clean. And then when I go stateside, just regular toilet paper, I didn't feel all the way fresh. So I'm back being fresh again. A nice warm seat. Not because somebody else sat on it right before I got done. It's already warm. So I miss the bidet.
Your parents didn't have one?
They have one in their room, but I don't know how other households are, but we don't go into our parents' bathroom like that.
I see. That makes sense. Jamie, do you have a bidet?
No. The whole thing.
You need to get yourself one.
The whole thing.
Why?
What, Jamie?
I don't know. It just seems weird.
It's weird at first. It's definitely weird at first.
I do like the idea of it being heated. I'm very cold all the time, so that would be nice.
The one time I can be warm is when actually you're a girl, so you sit down to use the bathroom every time. So never mind.
Right.
Yeah, I bought one. It was like at the start of the pandemic, and Samantha was pregnant. And so we were like, it'd probably be a good idea to get a bidet for one of the bathrooms for like after you give birth and all this shit. So we had one, and at first it was weird, but then eventually I was like, this is right.
So do you use toilet paper too with it, or is it one or the other?
You can, the toilet paper can be like just to dry it off the water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there some with like the with a blow dryer in them so that you don't have to?
So you just get blown on the booty hole?
Mm-hmm. Now I've experienced that, but that feels like that's gonna be weird.
That's where it gets weird, huh?
No, the first time I used the bidet, I was like, oh, ooh. And then I got used to it. So it's probably gonna be the same thing that once using a dryer, I'm gonna be like, it's gonna feel weird at first, and then it's gonna be like, I've been living my life like a caveman this whole time, and I've been missing out on this.
Okay.
So Jamie, I just found out that you have corrupted your soul, and you are now an iPhone user. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I hated my other phone. I had a Galaxy S21, and it was a horrible phone, which is awful because I've had many Galaxies prior to that and loved them. But this one had no battery life, like it died all the time. And I play Genshin Impact on my phone, and I had to play it at lowest settings, otherwise it would crash, playing at a higher setting. And so whenever I went to go look at new phones, there wasn't any other good options. And I got a MacBook at the beginning of the year, and I figured between the MacBook, my iPad, and the phone, it would make things easier for me.
Yes,
So
it's all in sync. I'm sure that you're over here fucking texting from your iPad right now while on a podcast on your MacBook, and then you're over here.
My iPad is sitting here. It's not being in use, but it's sitting here. But
also, you were telling me that you had your crafting station set up. Like, was everything in boxes and whatnot?
No. So my boyfriend is going to start streaming through Twitch.
Oh. And you will definitely have to give us his user information when we close out.
Yeah. So
is he cool? Like, do we need to interview him at some point?
I mean, I think he's cool.
That's not what I asked you. That's like you asking. That's like my mom says I'm cool.
Well, that's what he says too.
Right.
But so I had all my Schitt's Creek stuff over there, and I had like all my craft stuff, and I didn't want him to have that as his background. And he wants to be able to put up anime posters and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I switched the basement around and moved all my crafting to one area. So in my basement, when you first come in now, he's got his Twitch area, I've got my crafting area, and then Ezra has a projector area with Legos and his Nugget.
What is a Nugget?
It is a couch that you can manipulate into all kinds of different shapes.
Interesting. I've never heard of this.
I've seen that before.
Yeah.
I've seen it before.
Yeah, he got it a couple Christmases ago and he loves it. He builds forts in it, and it's just a really cool. You can jump on it. You can do like gymnastic stuff on it.
Oh, okay. I just looked it up. I have heard of that.
So it's a funny story. When I got this Nugget, I had to enter a lottery to be able to purchase it.
Yeah.
Because it was so in demand that they couldn't produce enough to meet the demand. So you had to enter a lottery to get chosen for a chance to buy it.
Was it during COVID though?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's
But that's also how bad these were sought out. Not even during COVID, but like they've always had limited.
Okay,
stock.
I see.
Like I don't even know if you could go buy one right now. Like they have certain times when they're in stock, or at least that's the way it used to be. They would call them drops, and you'd have to sign up in advance to be notified that they were dropping them. And then you had to like rush to buy it. But now there's several different like dupes. I think Target has a dupe, and
no, I mean I'm on the official website and I can order one right now.
Okay, so then they must have caught up with it, but that's not how it used to be.
Okay.
But yeah, he loves it.
Perhaps I will look into this technology then.
It is, because it can grow with. I mean, for yours, she's so tiny. You know, it could last her years and years and years, and it's machine washable. So you know, she gets sick on it, spills milk on it, you can unzip it and throw it in the washer.
Matt, how was traveling back home?
I've explained to you before how much I hate flying, and this has been my worst experience flying ever. I get from St. Louis to Chicago, and I'm waiting at the gate, and I see a little kid run around. His mother's chasing him, and he just falls on the floor.
Like playful chasing, or like he's getting away chasing?
Playful chasing. Okay. And then, but once she grabs him, she's like, all right, let's go back. And then he kind of like does the kid thing, just lays on the ground and won't stand up and be all limp. And I'm thinking in my head, this badass kid. So fast forward, as I get to my seat, I look over and I'm on the aisle. I'm in the middle row of the plane. So there's 3 seats, aisle, 3 seats, aisle, and 3 seats. So I'm in the middle 3 seats, and I come over there and I look down. There's a baby in the middle seat getting his diaper changed. I'm like, oh, it was this badass kid. Wait, oh, fuck, this kid is going to be sitting next to me. And I realized this is a 12-hour flight.
This is Chicago to Tokyo?
Yes. This is a 12-hour and 40-minute flight. This kid cried 10 hours out of this fucking flight. So I'm sitting there. All right, if you don't know me, I don't really like kids like that at all. Like, so she's the mother is black, right? So she's right here. The kid kind of light skinned in the middle. Then it's me. So like this kid has been crying this whole time, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to like, hey kid, whatever, some colors or stuff? I don't know what you do with these kids. So like this kid is crying, and there was this couple over here. They keep looking over at me, like I guess maybe they thought I might be the daddy.
Yeah.
And he's like, why I'm not helping? I don't know these motherfuckers.
Man, you need to handle your business with your son, okay?
Right. They kept looking at me, and I'm like, I don't know them. So like they had like on the other side, you know, had some Japanese ladies where she would like help, like when she needs to go to the bathroom, the mother needs to go to the bathroom, the Japanese ladies will help with the kid. And then, you know, when we could have the seatbelts off, they would like, I guess he likes to run around. So
you guess you think he likes to run around?
Right. So then they'll run around the plane. And then like, I'm getting so angry in my mind. First thing I thought about, well, I can't wait for the podcast. I'm about to lay into this motherfucker. And then I was like, you know what? Like, I'm getting like so much anger is built into me where I'm like, man, fuck that. They need to start having, you know how they have like 25 and older clubs and stuff like that. They need to have a plane ride when you don't have kids. When I say like, if the kid cannot speak and let you know what they want, they can't be on this flight. I was just thinking of everything about not having this kid here because it was. And then, okay, so like the kid would be on this iPad or whatever, and sometimes he would like lean on my leg or whatever, right?
Right.
So then the mother would be like, oh no, and then like move away. So, but this happened like every 15 minutes, right? He would like lean on my leg, and I'm just like, I don't care, just do it. So then finally, when realize he's already crying because, you know, hungry stuff, and she's breastfeeding, right? Too.
What?
On the plane. Yeah. So
just adding it all together.
Right. So then she's like, so then he's like lean, like, so like every 10, 15 minutes, she's like moving away, saying sorry. And I'm not saying anything. I haven't said anything to this at all. I'm just trying to focus on the movies and everything else like that. So finally, one time he leaned on me on my knee, and then she pulled him away and smacked his butt. Then the motherfucker started crying louder. So then I was like, hey, it's okay. It's fine. And then she was like, no, it's not okay. So then I start thinking, maybe I shouldn't have said that because a random man is saying, it's okay for your son to lean up on my leg. And I was like, I don't want to be out here like a pervert. I still want the motherfucker to cry. Right. So I was like, after that, I didn't say nothing else to her. I was like, whatever. Your mother whoop you. I was like, all right, I ain't going to do nothing else. But it was the worst experience I ever had on this fucking flight. I was waiting for like somebody to be like, hey, shut that fucking kid up or something like that. But apparently there was other kids like this. So the couple rows behind us, this motherfucker crying back here, rows up there. And I was like, I need to, like, I had a chance to upgrade my seat, but it was going to be like an extra $250. And I was like, it's going to be fine. I'm going to be, you know, an adult and everything. Never was that I think a fucking baby was going to be next to me.
I mean, how could you ever know that?
Right. So, so then now I get to customs, I get to Tokyo, and this whole thing about COVID and everything. And I did all this. I get there. The plane is late. I have an hour to make it to my gate. So now we have the first process of going through what they call quarantine. You have to show your paperwork. I'm running to get their stuff. I'm like, cool, make it everything. I'm waiting for my bag. My bag is like one of the last ones to show up, and it's like 45 minutes later. So then I finally get my bag, go through customs. I miss my fucking flight.
What?
So I'm just like, oh my fucking God. But yeah, I get to my gate. Basically, they had another plane leaving in an hour after that. So I was able to make it and stuff like that. But that baby ruined that flight for me. It was just horrible. Horrible.
I'm sorry. Jamie, have you ever flown with your son?
No, he's never been on a plane.
And he's like 8?
8.
Yeah. Mine is 2, and so far, no, she hasn't been on a plane either. But what you just described, Matt, is my biggest fear. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to take her on a flight. The other is like she has a lot of accessories. And so like it's just a lot of shit to pack up and then, you know, go through security and all that stuff.
Right. Because I really my hatred is just for the kid. The mother, you could tell that she was struggling in this situation. Because what really because she had to be like, he had to be like maybe 2 because he could walk. He had like 1 or 2 teeth, but he couldn't speak. So I don't know what age range that is, but she was trying her best, but it was just that kid just wouldn't let it go. So I felt bad for her.
Yeah.
Well, and see, the bad thing with just like with Ezra, they've had so many ear infections that scares me too. like the pressure on their ears because you know he's so sensitive to stuff like that because he's had to have tubes and he's had so many ear infections. I just am scared that like the pressure he would just scream and would not stop.
Didn't your son get ear tubes?
Yeah, when he was 2.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I would hope that they would do their job and protect from that.
You would hope.
That's why I said hope. I don't know.
One thing that I wish I'd known before about the ear tubes is that if they don't fall out on their own by a certain time, you have to then pay to have them removed. Yeah.
The more you know.
Because once they get a certain age, they can't be in there anymore because it'll cause problems with their growth, like their ear growth as they get older.
What are these ear tubes?
They're tubes that have to be surgically put in the ear to help keep the water from getting in or infection from getting in. It's supposed to reduce the amount of ear infections they get. But with Ezra's, I had to pay almost $3,000 to have them put in.
Yep.
Because we hadn't hit the deductible on the insurance and we had really shitty insurance at the time.
Yeah, so similar to us, like they had us do the procedure in January when obviously your deductible just reset. And also on Samantha's insurance, which is not as good as mine because like she has like, oh, hey, I don't have a fucking chronic illness insurance. And I do like I have like the high option. So yeah, we had to pay maybe $1,800 like on the spot.
Yep.
Wow.
On the fucking spot.
Before they'll even like let you go back to do
exactly.
And then they were calling like 3 or 4 days before to get like half down. Like they wanted a deposit.
Right.
It's
wow.
Have you been watching anything, Matt?
Yes, when I went home, my mother has everything. When I say everything, she has the Hulu, she has the YouTube TV, Starz, Paramount Plus. She has everything. So
hold up, before you talk about the show, did you watch that movie I told you to watch, Palm Springs?
No, but I was about to because I told my mother about it, and she listened to it, and we turned it on, and then what happened? Something happened, like people came over, we didn't watch it, and then we forgot about it. But right. We are going to watch that. Yeah. Because she was talking about that. But basically, so my time back home, I was able to watch all these shows, and I watched a lot actually. So the second, let me start with the best. The best new show I found out is on Starz. It's called P-Valley. Have you heard of P-Valley?
I have. I believe the P stands for pussy.
Good job, Chad. Good job.
It's about a strip club, right?
Yeah. The Pink is a popular strip club in Mississippi where intrigue abounds with the mysterious Autumn, who's welcomed by Mercedes, the dancer, and Uncle Clifford, the club's owner. So basically, you have Uncle Clifford. He runs the club. You have Mercedes, who's like the number one stripper, and then you have this new person, Autumn, come in. For now, all you Harry Potter fans out there,
Jamie and I mess with Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember Alarica Johnson? She's a light-skinned chick. You
mean Angela Johnson?
No. Alarica Johnson. She was on the fifth one. She was on.
He's talking about that random girl at the beginning of the 5th Harry Potter movie that was like, no, this is the 6th one. This is Half-Blood Prince. When this is at the beginning of Half-Blood Prince, the movie, Harry is
waitress.
Right. Harry is in a like a diner, waiting on Dumbledore, and some random waitress is all like, "Ooh, you cute, Harry Potter." You know, she gives him like a look. That this don't count. I don't even think she had a line.
No, I don't know. I haven't seen it, but she is I was gonna say, any Harry Potter fans, that character gets naked, but I guess she don't really matter in the Harry Potter story. But it's real good.
How's her American accent?
Oh, it's good. I didn't know she was
I mean, if she in Harry Potter, she's British.
Oh, all the cast is?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
I did not know that.
I honestly don't think there's a single American in any of those movies.
Oh,
Like
I didn't know
Jamie,
that.
off the top of your head, can you think of anybody that's an American?
No.
Yeah.
But it's this show, as the title says, it ain't something you're gonna be watching with your kids.
It's something that
Also,
Matt's gonna watch with his mom.
actually, you might not want to watch with your parents either. There's a lot of sex and things. I don't want to say this.
How was watching that with your mom?
Oh, I didn't watch it with my mother.
Oh, okay.
Right. But also what the thing is, it's sex from different sides of the gender spectrum. So you get a little bit of everything in this.
Oh, they've got trans characters?
You get heterosexual, you get gay. It's a lot. I mean, they cover a lot of the spectrum. I like it. It's a good show.
So here's my question: do they show full frontal of men in the show?
Yes, you get a lot of dicks.
Okay, I was curious. We're in a much more progressive time, and for the longest, like you never really saw penises on anything.
Yeah, it needs to be more equal.
Yeah, it's so I highly recommend it. It's on Starz and other places you can get it. And then the other show I watched is, have you heard of a show called The Bear?
Is that the one with the cook?
Yes.
No. Oh, it's the one with that one guy, right? And Amy.
It's the guy from Shameless, Jeremy Allen White. He is the synopsis is a young chef from fine dining world returns to Chicago to run his family sandwich shop.
No, but I seen an advertisement for it today.
It's real good. It's only one season, and basically, like you said, you have this guy who was one of the top chefs in the world, and he goes home to Chicago and runs his family's sandwich shop, and it's great. I love cooking shows like this. I highly recommend it. It's real good.
I'll have to look at that.
I just looked that guy up, like with a name like Jeremy Allen White. I'm like, oh, okay. Were you born in Britain? Nah, Bronx, New York. Okay.
And that's on Hulu.
Okay. All right. Was it 8 episodes?
Yeah, it's not long.
All right. So is it self-contained, or does it leave itself open for a second season?
It leaves itself open for a second. I mean, if there was no second season, it ended nicely, but it can always have a second season to it.
Okay. And it's an hour-long show or a 30-minute show?
I want to say it's like 45 minutes-ish time frame. Yeah.
Okay. So I checked out a store called the Minifig Shop. It's an independent Lego store. And if you're even remotely interested in Legos, like not to the extent where like, oh man, I buy the new sets every week, but just like, oh man, I think Legos are cool. Like check this shop out if you're in the St. Louis area. When I first walked into the store, I got the feeling that I wish I got when I go to like the real Lego store in the mall, where like when you go to the Lego store in the mall, it's just like a small store. They got a few things on display, like right in front, and then just the boxes of the stuff they want you to buy. But this store has like so many sets like already made, and like they got different areas like that are like roped off with like a plastic guardrail type thing, to where they made like Lego cities and stuff with like different blocks. It's really cool. And then they've got like a lot of like discontinued sets, like if you want to purchase those like for your collection, and like a lot of minifigures, which are like the little people, like from different things like Star Wars, Harry Potter, stuff like that. Even like slightly less popular stuff. It's worth it just to walk through the store. Like it's a really cool shop. When I get
I'm looking it up right now too.
When I get some money together, I might go back up in there and purchase some sets.
Speaking of that, I just told the wife today that I just seen they had some Legos, or I don't know if Sugar's Legos or not, but blocks building where you can build like shoes like Air Force Ones or Adidas. And I was
Yeah,
like, ooh, I might like that.
Lego has an Adidas shoe that you can make, and the box for the Legos is a shoe box.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, I told the wife I think I might want that one now.
That looks pretty dope. I just bought a set. I'm not sure if I sent it to you, Matt, but it's the Lego Jazz Quartet. Let me pull that up and I'll put that into the Zoom chat. But it's a cool set. I'm gonna start it on Monday when I have some time, as long as I'm done with editing and stuff. And,
So many waiting to be built.
Yeah, I do too, but this is going to the top of the list because I have like a painting of a jazz player in my living room, and I've always moved that like I've had it ever since I've lived by myself as an adult. And so it's like, yeah. And I also like personally like jazz and stuff. So I'm like, this is something that's got to go on display.
And plus that we said that the Soul movie character kind of looked like you.
That's something you said, but
Really? Nobody else has ever said that to you?
No one is as racist as you are. It's always your own people.
That is true. But nah, you look just like that character.
I put it in the Zoom chat, and I'll put a link to the set in the show notes as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Have you guys heard about this feud between Doja Cat and Will from Stranger Things?
No.
Vaguely. So before you get or I guess you explain it. I just heard something about she DM'd a minor. That's all I heard, for trying to get with somebody else or something.
Yeah. So the kid that plays Will on Stranger Things, he's 17. And let me look up Doja Cat's age. Doja Cat is an artist, by the way. She's 26 years old, and she's no stranger to internet controversy. So basically, she wanted the kid from Stranger Things to hook her up with the contact information. Now, basically, she's like, "Hey, can you tell this actor from Stranger Things, like one of the new characters, to hit me up because I want to see what's going on. I want to, go out with them." And the kid was like, just slide into his DMs, and she was like, I don't know, like, does he have Instagram? Does he have Twitter? I don't see that. And so he gave her a link to dude's Instagram, and then he screenshotted the conversation they had and then posted it to social media. And Doja Cat just went out calling him a snake and like a two-timer, and just like, he didn't need to put my personal business out there. And it's like, it's not like there's any like personal information in what was shared. It's not like she's like, here's my phone number, and he put her phone number on the internet. And it's very innocent. Like, she was like, hey, can you tell the actor to hit me up? Wait, does he have a girlfriend? And then like just innocent stuff like that. It's like nothing bad what was shared, but she just lost it. And so yeah, I mean, yes, 100%. And so the internet's like, why are you hitting up a minor trying to like basically hook you up with some dude that is of age? That's weird, Doja Cat.
Right. It is.
I mean, on one hand, I get it. Like, she knows him. I assume they're some level of friends. So she hit him up like, hey, hook your girl up. But I mean, I don't know if we need to be calling them names and stuff.
Right. It's not that serious. Even if he did do it, I don't know. Why did he leak it though?
I think he probably thought it was funny, because you got to remember, he's a fucking minor.
Right. That's it. Yeah. Why are you hitting up a minor?
Yeah, that's weird. And it's like, I don't know if Doja Cat would be considered a millennial at 26, probably. But like, these Gen Z kids, we don't understand what the fuck is going on in their heads.
No.
So no, she's doing too much. Yeah, we are flying through this fucking episode. This is gonna be great to edit. All right, so you guys ready to do this?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, this week we discuss the bad guys.
On the outside, the five of you are villains, predators, remorseless sociopaths,
Oh, stop it. You're making me blush.
We're the bad guys.
And this is the crew.
Mr. Snake,
Mr. Tarantula.
Mr. Piranha,
Mr. Shark.
and rounding out the crew is me, the big bad wolf. We may be bad, but we're so good at it.
Several reformed yet misunderstood criminal animals attempt to become good with some with some interesting results along the way. Because I can't say that word. Jamie, what did you think of the bad guys?
I thought it was really cute.
Okay.
Of course, I watched it with my son, and he loves the fart jokes.
It's as the youth does.
So I think it's really cute to see their reactions to it. But I mean, it was predictable. I kind of figured out who was good, who was bad, and all that very early on. But I thought the characters were really cute. I just thought it was a nice movie.
Okay. Matt?
She stole the word I was going to use. I was going
Cute.
to use cute too. Yes. It was a nice little cute movie. I watched this on the plane between cries.
Was it a selection on the plane?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie, but it felt like bootleg is not the right word. It felt like a
Imitation brand.
Yeah, there we go. It felt like a imitation brand of a regular DreamWorks Pixar movie.
Well, this is a DreamWorks movie.
Okay, yeah. So it felt like a lesser, like the main writers were on vacation, so they had like some other people step in and do
The
some
B
things.
team. I got you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's it's like a movie that you see on like Nickelodeon or something like that, Cartoon Network. But it was a joy. I mean, there's nothing to complain about. I liked of course I liked the wolf and everything. I do not care for Aquafina. So anything she's in, I do
She is
not
very
care for it.
problematic. We can get on that off mic, but she's a problematic human.
But I know you like her though.
But I will say I find her sexy as fuck.
I think she's hilarious.
We will talk about that off mic, Jamie.
Yeah.
We're going full steam ahead here.
Right. But I like the voices and everything. I like the concept of it. It was good. I probably should have my son watch it because I think he'll enjoy it too. Like you said, the fart jokes and things like that. But overall, I thought it was an all right movie.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. When we got into, before like truly got going, like when they got arrested, I was like, oh, is this movie like trying to like, I'm like, okay, clearly the hamster is a bad guy here. And like they kept going along and he was doing good stuff. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Are we not about to just like check all the boxes of like a kid's movie? Like as an adult, I've seen enough of these movies to know that the hamster is a bad guy. And I'm like, are you guys about to like not do that? I'm like, oh, am I gonna really, really like this movie? And like at the very end, they're like, nah, just kidding. He's a bad guy.
Right.
Yeah, you could see what was gonna happen a mile away. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it's a little predictable. And Snake being a good guy. When Snake was like showed up with the hamster dude, I thought from jump he was like playing.
Me too.
Yeah. But I didn't really care for the twist of like the governor being a thief too.
Yeah,
like,
that seemed like
we're doing too much here.
well, it was like last minute, like oh well, let's just make her bad too.
Right. Yeah, we were doing a lot. Also, I found it very interesting that all of the animals in this world were crooks. Every animal character was a crook.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Also, like
Right.
I was like, also, what kind of world is this? because like at the beginning people were like cowering in fear of them, and I was like, is it because they're walking talking animals? Like what is happening here?
But then later on, there's animals that's holding government positions, so it didn't really make sense.
Right.
Well, and the cat that kept going up the damn tree couldn't talk.
Yeah, that was a regular cat. Right.
It's like,
so
like Goofy's a dog, but Pluto's a real dog.
So like stuff like that didn't make sense, but I was like, okay, like this movie's fine. It's, like you guys said, it's cute. I really like the animation style. It was interesting.
I love that their tails wagged every time someone told them they were good guys.
Yes,
I
that
thought
was
that
cute.
was adorable.
But I saw something online that that said that the bad guys is basically Lupin the Third set in Zootopia. Now it's like, I don't know a lot about anime, but I know Lupin, and like that sounds right. No,
because Lupin is
I thought he
basically
was stealing shit. I thought they were thieves.
yeah, he was a thief, but it's more like he was a thief where like he what's what I'm looking for? He wears costumes and stuff to steal or whatever like that.
Right, but you got the element of animated thief with Zootopia.
Yeah. All right, I see that.
Yeah. You don't have to accept it, man. It's okay.
I can see it's a reach, but I can see it though. I can see it down the line. Was this ever released in theaters?
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Like March or something like that.
Oh.
It wasn't in theaters long, to be honest. It made its money though. It made its money.
Oh wow.
It had a budget of $70 million, and worldwide it made $244 million.
Oh wow. Okay. Get your money.
It came out at a good time. Like it came out in April. April 22nd. And it's like not a lot of stuff's out then, you know?
Right.
Like,
and it's tailor made for kids.
Yeah. But like just to get on like a slight tangent, like have you seen trailers for that movie Paws of Fury? It's got what's Scott Pilgrim's real name?
I know you're talking about
that guy.
Yeah.
I'm looking at his face in my head. He's in it, like Sam Jackson's in it, other people, and it's like it's coming out like within the next week or two. And it's like a movie like that, don't bring that out in the summer, because like that's not a Disney movie, that's not a DreamWorks movie, you know, like that's like some other animation studio. Like Michael Cera, right? Like that feels like something that needs to come out like this, like in April or March or something, or hell, even like September, when you don't have a lot of competition. Like Minions just came out, and your movie's about to come out. Like that movie is gonna not do well. I don't think.
Poor Minion movie has been trying to come out for so long.
It didn't make a lot of money.
I don't know.
So I don't know the budget. That's not released, but so far the worldwide gross is 258, and it's been out for like 2 weeks, I think.
I don't know. I just feel like there's so many of them now.
This is the 5th one, I believe.
Oh wow. Because like, you know, the trend of people showing up in suits and everything. So apparently those people who've been doing it, they've been trashing the theaters. So now I've seen posts where like theaters like, if they see you in a suit going for the Minion movies, they're not gonna let you in.
On site. Why
are they trashing it?
Because they're being assholes.
Right. It's teenagers.
What do you guys think the Rotten Tomatoes is on the bad guys?
65.
Yeah, I would say in the 60s somewhere.
88% with a 93% audience score.
Wow. That's surprising.
How long has it been since there's been a good kids movie out? Is that part of it?
Minions?
No. Oh, you were still talking about the Minions.
No. That was Bad Guys Rotten Tomatoes, but it's like
That's what I mean. Is that why it's so high? Because there hadn't been a really good kids movie for a while.
Well, let's see. Animated movies 2022. Yeah, Bad Guys. That didn't go out in theaters. Yeah, I feel like that may have been like the first big one of the year. Like fully animated. Like
Mhm.
I mean, because Sonic came out, but I wouldn't count that as an animated movie, you know.
No, and I don't think that was in theaters long either.
But that made a shit ton of money.
I mean, it was a very cute movie, but I just don't think
Easter weekend, if I remember right, because that ended up as
actually April 8th because it came out on my boyfriend's birthday.
Okay. As a result of that movie doing so well, Nintendo delayed the release of the Mario movie to Easter weekend of 2023 to say as a fuck you to Sonic.
How does that say fuck you to Sonic?
Because they're like, okay, we're gonna come out the exact same weekend, exact same conditions, and we expect to do better than you.
Oh.
I mean, honestly, I didn't see Sonic 2 in the theaters, but I would be there opening night for Mario. I fuck with Mario so fucking hard.
Yeah, you're not a Sonic fan.
Yeah, I didn't fuck with that Genesis stuff growing up.
Yeah, I didn't have a Genesis either.
Yeah. All right. So this week's trivia is based around somebody that I think is a fucking baddie, and Matt hates, Aquafina. The Bad Guys is Aquafina's 5th animated movie. Of the following, which movie was she not in? A. Storks. B. Ice Age Collision Course. That's the 5th Ice Age movie. C. The Angry Birds movie 2. D. SpongeBob Sponge on the Run. That is the 3rd SpongeBob movie. Or E. Raya and the Last Dragon.
I have no clue.
Why? Why did you do that?
Well, you know I feel like you know one that she's absolutely 100% in.
Right, that's what I said. So why would you add that in there though? That's why I said why.
Because I'm listing the 4 movies she was in plus one she wasn't.
Angry Birds?
Oh, I don't know. All that seemed like some shit she would do. Let me go with Ice Age.
Okay. So Matt is right. That's a good guess. She wasn't in Ice Age 5. She wasn't in any Ice Age movie, but she was in the other 4: Storks, Angry Birds 2, SpongeBob 3, and Raya.
I still feel like she's been around that long.
That's the thing. Storks came out in 2016, and that's when she was like blew up enough to be in movies, because that's around the time that she did Ocean's 8, I believe. Yeah. All right, got 3 bits of trivia, and then we're gonna get the fuck out of here. The beginning of this film mirrors the beginning of Pulp Fiction, where 2 characters are sitting opposite one another in a diner, having what seems to be a rather idle conversation before revealing that both characters are actually on the verge of launching into a robbery. This movie is based on a children's book series of the same name by Aaron Babby. And when Professor Marmalade forces the bad guys to wear animal onesies, Mr. Wolf wears that of a sheep, in a reference to the term of wolf in sheep's clothing, which he is also figuratively as well as literally at that point, because he is a bad guy pretending to be good. All right. So I want to thank you for hopping on for your 3rd appearance, Jamie. Yeah, well, I just want to say once more, welcome back, Matt. It was so nice seeing you in person, and it was really nice doing this in person as well. But I will say, I absolutely miss sitting at my desk alone, talking to a screen. I don't know, just because like after we log off, I'm getting into bed, and I can't do that if you were physically here.
Right, because then we're gonna have to shoot the shit, and you're gonna have to take me home and turn your hotspot on and stuff like that.
And I know he's gonna put all your information out there, but yes. Yes. So thank you so much for listening. Please rate, like, and review our podcast on your platform of choice. If you have any feedback, please email us at weusedtotalkpod@gmail.com. Like our Facebook page, We Used to Talk About This at Work, and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at We Used to Talk Pod. Come back next week when we review Demolition Man.
And like always, I don't know if this is a good episode. I don't know if it was a bad episode, but whatever you think about it, talk about it at work. Thank you for listening.